Good morning, everyone. My name is Latifa Al-Bukhari. I am a project officer and a visual art. I'm a project officer at Misk Foundation and a visual artist. Thank you all for being here so early in the morning. Today we're going to discuss a very special topic very dear to my heart, which is orange economy. But first, I want to introduce our two distinguished speakers, Beryl Chavez Lee, the co-founder of Yield Guild Games in the Philippines, and Rafiq Anadol, media artist and a director, Rafiq Anadol Studios, USA. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Yes, good morning. Sorry for it. we were in the we were back in the hotel at 3 a.m. and I'm teaching last 8 years. I got used to a lot of talking about this is a different game. Just sorry for my voice. I'm a media artist and practicing with AI last 7 years and programming last 14 years, and I coined the term data painting. Started my journey in Istanbul and then moved to Los Angeles, teaching at UCLA about the topic of art, science, and technology. And my focus is public art, the art for anyone, any age, and in the background, and trying to find connection between humans, machines, and environments, specifically using data, public data if possible, no personal data, and then make AI as a friend or kind of a tool or a thinking brush that we can paint with machine consciousness.
Yes.
And here in the Congress Center, I have a piece commissioned by the forum. It's using 100 million underwater coral data and an AI trained on also 500,000 molecules of scent and also 4 terabytes of underwater sound data, which is called artificial realities. If you have a moment, it's still open till 2 p.m., I think. That's why I'm here in, I guess, this cold but beautiful place.
Yes, yes. Thank you for being here, Beryl.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beryl. I'm co-founder at Yield Games. So my background has been in, like traditional finance. I got into blockchain in like 2013. I was a founding team member of Coins.ph. It was the largest cryptocurrency exchange and wallet provider in the Philippines. And then shortly after that, an asset tokenization platform, and then backtested trading algorithms for BlackRock in London. Yeah, I got into gaming just 2 years ago. Can you believe that? It just so happened that it was the pandemic in the Philippines, and we started Yield Games as a gaming guild, and so we established ourselves by buying a number of these gaming assets, kind of like there was swords and shields in World of Warcraft, right? But this one is Web3 games. It started with Axie Infinity, and we started getting our communities to play with them for free, uncollateralized. And whenever they actually play with these assets, they learned that they can actually engage in a new digital economy and earn in-game rewards, which could actually be converted into fiat currency. And so we expanded since then to 80 other game titles. So yeah, that's how I actually got into gaming.
Yes, thank you so much. So first, I would like to say that I wanted to know more about your own perspectives, because right now, in Saudi Arabia, the creative economy is growing rapidly. There's a lot of programs, residencies, a lot of emerging artists that are being supported, a lot of gamers as well, as we spoke earlier. I wanted to know from your side, what does creative economy mean to you?
By the way, I was in Riyadh a couple of months ago for opening of the Noor Festival. It was amazing. I have a piece called Riyadh Dreams, which was an AI trained on entire, I think, Saudi, from a basically satellite point of view of the countries and beautiful landscapes. And the piece was in Jax, which is a
Yes.
location I learned with many amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 10 days and met amazing young artists. And to be honest, I was biased, coming from LA with like, who are the new, people can work. The questions were incredible. And that's an incredible way of like turning. Jax was a great example for me,
Yes.
like taking an industrial area, transforming into a culture, bringing an exhibition, making a
safe
Vienna
space for artists too.
was incredible.
Yeah.
That was very powerful. And in the talk like this, we had amazing young artists, and they ask fantastic questions. But creative economy, I think the Web3 is an interesting thing. So digital art is unfortunately didn't recognized by elitists of art world, let's call it like that. They like question, can AI make art? Can computers make art? All like classical dinosaur point of view of whenever a new technology comes,
Yeah.
we know that somebody will say that doesn't work.
Yes.
That doesn't, it's not art, like whatever. But it took 14 years for me. Like every time, like in the Web3 space, similarly. But what happened, I think, in the pandemic, everyone at home at the same time looking at the same computer. And that was, I think, the recognition of digital art. So my work, I can't draw, but I know how to draw with my mind and computation and algorithms and data.
Yeah.
And people like me is many people like that. And then in the pandemic, we are all recognized by an amazing community. I personally am grateful for the Web3 space because while like Christie's, Sotheby's, and many, many new institutions recognize people and their value, but also we also raised $5 million. As a small studio, we are 15 people. We are not a $1 billion company. We raised $5 million in just 1 year for UNICEF, for Alzheimer foundations, and for St. Jude's Children's Hospital across different countries and spaces. So I think it's a very powerful thing. Just not assets or whatever, it's something, but you can do much big impact for the humanity. And I saw many people, I'm quitting my work. I want to be a full-time artist. Like, I don't want to be anymore like, classical or vertical space employee. I want to make my own art. And we saw many independence of beautiful humans last 2 years. I think it's an incredible time to be a digital artist also.
Definitely, definitely. Especially during the pandemic, there was a lack of resources, so everyone started switching to digital art and learning more about it.
And also we learned that the first thing that humanity stopped doing is culture when pandemic started. Like every artist's work is cancelled.
Yeah.
Like even I'm a relatively well-known in the art world, all our exhibitions cancelled, one by one. Like the first 6 months, I'm pretty sure any artist you can ask, that was disaster.
Me for sure.
But then
Yes.
another sun shines and things changes.
Yes. Yes. Beryl, I'd love to hear your perspective.
I guess like Rafiq actually mentioned Web3, right? And I guess like art and games proliferated during the pandemic because Web3 enabled real ownership, right? More recognition for artists, more recognition for gamers because of ownership. When I hear about like creative economy and like Web3, I think about the metaverse, right? And like they say, Neil Stephenson actually said it so nicely on Snow Crash that you could actually be a pizza delivery man in real life, but you could be a superhero in another dimension, right?
Yeah.
It's completely you could be as creative as you want. It could be Roblox where kids can actually build their own assets, but at the end of the day, you actually own your assets in the digital in the metaverse economy. So there's really true ownership there. Or there's a way for people to actually earn alternative sources of income, like in the Philippines or emerging markets, right, where YGG actually lends these assets and gaming assets. They're able to battle in the game, earn in-game rewards, and then convert these rewards into fiat. Put food on the table, milk for their kids. It has really been an inspiring story back in the Philippines and in Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil too, and in emerging markets. And there's a proliferation of roles as well in this new creative economy, the metaverse, where you find roles like, I'd say, metaverse land brokers, right? So they're kind of like mimicking the roles in the real world, but there's a proliferation of new roles in new economies, right?
Yes. Actually, Beryl, I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to know your perspective on it. What can be done to create more stability within the creative economy today? Whether it's globally or in the Philippines, I want to hear more.
I'd say that what was really inspiring was this game called Axie Infinity, right? Nobody knew how people would actually use Axie in reality, right? They were able to, play with digital assets and then being able to get other alternative sources of income for their families. And I believe that being part of the creative economy is being able to build applications or art or games and communities that actually cater to the beneficiary, right? And it's actually half, 5 billion people around the world, right? And these are those in emerging markets, for example. So it's actually building applications for users that could actually really like uplift their lives.
Yes, I completely agree with you. We definitely need more spaces, more platforms to be created for people that are looking for that. I mean, there's a lot of creative people that are just, they feel like this is more of a hobby, but there is more that could be done for them. I wanted to ask you both, how can we encourage young people to be more creative, and what are the benefits for them if they do so?
The creative economy or just independently?
In general.
I think in general, so the beautiful thing is I think open source information, right? Now learning to learn is the most amazing school we can ever imagine. I mean, I'm an educator, I'm a professor at university, but I'm happy to say that sometimes universities are extremely slow institutions. The life we have, the techniques we know, the tools we can use are so fast and rapidly changing. Schools are becoming slow. Systems are becoming slow. I met many amazing young artists last 5 years online. Most of them are self-learned. Like they dive into the online communities, they dive into like how to learn certain tools, and they generate their own artwork. And they don't need a title, they don't need like anything else. So the creativity right now is extremely easy and extremely easy to find an information about coding, about programming, about tools such as game engines like Unreal, Unity, programming for online experience. It's so getting accessible. And the community, like you can find someone online and ask a question and learn most likely faster than a professor. Most likely you get a faster response than a boring email. So I think the amazing thing I'm seeing that many young people enjoying diving into the internet, finding what they need, and be successful very quickly.
So
of course, the economy itself is equal to everyone because nobody was asked anything. You can write on now smart contracts so easily. Like there are tools like Manifold, maybe they're amazing friends from Canada as well. They said like, wait, why don't we write a simple website? Everyone can, without learning how to write code, and upload their artwork and just own their own pieces. That just happened in like 1 year, and now everyone equally can upload their pieces. Music as well. I'm sure AI like that. Now tons of generative AI tools, Midjourney, Stable Diffuse, ChatGPT, like these are all open. So I think it's a massive renaissance happening. And I think it's the first time humanity is aware of a renaissance, that we can talk. I don't believe in 800 years ago, they were talking about, wow, we're in renaissance. I don't think so.
I think
so
it's
what will
happening
this
now.
make it? I think I'm super inspired, to be honest.
I like what Rafiq actually said, that it's about educating yourself. And it's true, there are a number of like tools out there. And everything is about immersing yourself with all these tools and familiarizing yourself. So in the beginning, I've made so many mistakes, experimenting on a lot of these like DeFi platforms. And these, in the beginning in 2020 of August, the DeFi platforms didn't really have the best user experience, right? And you're just like subject to so many mistakes, and you're actually at stake, right? Because you actually play with real value, real money when you're actually like experimenting on these platforms. But at the end of the day, you just need to be brave enough to actually learn and experiment. And just like with the tools out there, research is really important to know which platforms are real good platforms versus in crypto right now. There's a lot of like scammy platforms as well. So differentiating that is important, and as well as the value of communities, right? So there are Discord servers out there where you can actually join an interest group, for example, and everything is about experimentation.
Yeah, but also let's just remind something very important. What I saw very powerful, that the people were first start putting their artworks online, and unfortunately they couldn't get the recognition they were imagining. And I saw many people felt a little bit like disconnected, like why my work is not seen, why my work is not liked. The bias in the social media, as we know, where's my like, where's my comment, where's the share. That I think context of not seen, not felt through, is a common problem of humanity. We should be definitely sure that for young people who try their first time artworks, they should not be like affected by if someone doesn't maybe give the value they were imagining. It doesn't mean the artwork doesn't have a value. It just means that the system is not seeing you yet.
You're not
Because
recognizing it yet.
Because we saw many people like felt a little bit, disconnected. They felt like, where's my work? It's actually there. It just takes time, but it's there.
Yeah, Beryl, actually, I really like how you mentioned community, because for me, community was the basis of me starting as an artist. You know, I'm a photographer, and I started with film photography, so I started meeting more film photographers and more people with darkroom labs, and they started wanting to actually really get me to get started and teach me more. And whenever I had any questions, they were there for me. And during the pandemic, I think the community was the main thing for everyone.
Yeah.
And this is how they connected online. They asked each other questions. If they had a hobby or something they wanted to learn more about, that was the time for them to do so. So thank you for mentioning that. Um, Actually, I wanted to also ask, what do you think that is the potential for creativity in terms of jobs and stability? So how can you be creative within your own job?
So with gaming and the blockchain and the metaverse, people can actually create their own digital assets, right? For example, the game Sandbox, you could actually look into acquiring like metaverse land and then building infrastructure on top of it. Or if you join a gaming guild, you're able to just borrow certain assets or be part of a group and together build infrastructure. Um, what's also really interesting is, as I mentioned, there's like a proliferation of various roles in the creative economy in the metaverse, right? Like metaverse land brokers. You also have influencers as well. Influencers in terms of like tutorials, because all these tools and all these games are really new, and yeah, they're just becoming like good influencers. And then esports is also really big in the gaming space, a great way to actually learn how to use the tools as well.
Yes, I mean,
And I think also conversational AI, like again, ChatGPT, DALI 2, like all these tools are creating a massive new movement. I don't believe we have ever seen an instant like reaction to any machine, to human. I'm pretty confident people are writing their movies right now, writing their new applications, creating their own softwares without
Yeah.
knowing any code. Like right now it's happening across the world, like thousands of times.
yeah,
So metaverse is something, but it's I think beyond that. Right now we have, I mean, good luck for teachers first of all. Like how will they define who is like writing what? But
yes.
I think from a student, from a creative perspective, I don't believe it has ever happened that you can just prompt engineering is now a term, right? Like if you go to like Discord, which is where the communities are most likely, I have like a 16,000 Discord channel, which is incredible people around the world. And they're everything. Like they can share you instantly, like whatever going on there.
Yeah.
I think being in the Discord, to be honest, in the like metaverses, I don't know which metaverse will win, to be honest. Like legless people, whatever. It's like there are lots of problems there. But I think the Discord and communication and deep dive into like communities and asking like what is like newest tool, and just learning to learn, and I think there will be an amazing new community coming.
Yes, actually, that takes me to my next question for you. How has digital media influenced the creative expression? How has digital media influenced the creative expression?
I mean, if digital media creates a data sets, I think now billions of parameters are now in the hands of AI models.
Yes.
I think it's infinitely change. So right now you can make a music with AI, you can write with AI, you can paint with AI,
Everything.
you can create a company in just like half an hour, I think, in a Web3 space.
Yes, for sure.
So this is extremely fast. I mean, I was in a Google and in a DeepMind call, which is amazing dialogues about how right now the rapid change of science is beyond the speed of science. Demis was saying it's the digital speed. Like, just an example, the DeepMind just released 200 million protein foldings, which normally one PhD student dedicate his or her life to find a one protein folding. They released 200 million of them, which is 1 billion days of a PhD student. This happened like last month, 2 months ago.
Yes.
I mean, this will affect incredible things.
It's already doing everything for everyone.
Now a student can go online, download the protein foldings, and just for free, and create their own sculptures
Yes.
in the metaverse and make the maybe first village that, so very easy to imagine
Very
right now.
access. What does it mean to you too?
Like
Yeah.
social media, it's finding inspiration from patterns, right? So if you're exploring what to build, for example, sometimes getting and feeling inspired by looking at previous like artwork or, for example, gaming assets has been already created, it just inspires you, and you could potentially like meet like people in the community through social media as well, because of the reputation, right, that they gain online. And being online sometimes it's really difficult to differentiate who's actually legitimate versus who's actually scamming you. But because of social media, you're able to determine who is actually really legitimate, right? So I think that's the importance of how social media builds one's reputation.
Yeah.
And one more thing, maybe,
Good.
let's also remember that Web3 space means not anymore our identities in the real life. Web3 is about being, not human. So
Yeah.
being is a different concept in the digital world. Like the example of like two different jobs or two different identities. That freedom of imagination is, I think, extremely different than we have never seen before. Not like an avatar on like a social media. It's beyond that. So if you can unlock that feature in life and apply what is new, the world is infinite there.
Yeah.
You need to be a little bit brave, I guess, but then
Like being like a pizza delivery man in real life, but be a superhero in this new dimension.
and there is no
Yeah.
difference.
Yes.
That's a very big difference. Like our like vertical life, our society's layers, they are gone there.
Yes.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that told me, they live in an apartment or whatever, and then but in their metaverse they have like castles and lands and houses. It's
imagination.
insane. Yes, it's their imagination. I wanted to ask you both: do you think young people are giving enough opportunities in their creative careers today?
Well, I guess that is actually, it really depends on the progress of the tools, right, that they actually use to actually really
Correct.
build. But right now, you actually have platforms like OpenSea, for instance, right, where if you actually build digital art or digital gaming assets, you're able to easily exchange your assets for another asset, or it provides that liquidity if a gamer or an artist needs that liquidity. There's also what I really believe is really important is the royalties as well that I believe gamers and artists deserve, right? Because that goes back to recognition and real ownership. So if your digital asset gets circulated in the secondary market and exchange hands a number of times, there's a possibility that you always get that like royalty, and that actually really helps like creators feel more inspired into like building and creating even more.
Yes.
I think from a smart contract point of view, that's true, but it still needs a lot of, I think, layers. So first of all,
Yeah.
if you're a student in an academic context, the given opportunity is the system that you are getting trained.
Yeah.
That's it. You have two paths, I think, classically academic world, where you can deep dive into the nerds of your universe of imagination and knowledge and information, or you can go to your own practice. So I think when I'm seeing people are choosing the practice that they want to create their own worlds, smart contracts, or their own companies, or whatever the practice is, I don't believe it's anymore about given, it's about what you want to take in the context of learning and creating your own opportunities.
Yeah.
And given is a luxury, I think. In a world that I'm seeing, people are most like trying to create first and then take that value back and give it back. So it's a really interesting vicious circle, actually, for the new generation, I think.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I got my first computer. I was 8 years old when I got my computer, and I played games too much, clinically addicted. But it was great, because I learned a lot about like escaping in the mind of a machine. And it's also about a little bit parental context, like who is leading that generation and who wants to let them fly to the world that they want to go.
Yeah.
And the rest is like there. I mean, OpenSea, lots of websites, they're ready smart contracts. In the fundamentals, still, the action is in the creator,
Yeah.
not in the systems to take it back, I think. But I may be wrong.
Yes, yes. Actually, one last question I wanted to ask personally. How does being creative influence your everyday, daily life? What does it mean to you?
Being creative is being random at a certain
Yeah.
extent, and sometimes being random Yeah, like I don't know, like I guess that sometimes it just inspires you to do something that you don't usually do day to day, and sometimes you just find successes in those instances. Yeah.
So I'm now a team. So it was my idea to become a team because I don't like the idea of egocentric following a one idea versus a doing togetherness is I think what I felt
Yeah.
connected. Now I have a 15 team member, 15 languages and 10 countries, 26 age, like
Wow.
average age. So we are imagining together like AI scientists, data scientists, engineers, neuroscientists. So we're just like nerding together. I think what happened to me, or probably many artists in their life, I don't believe you can say I am not working now or I am working now, because when you think about the imagination in life, every second, every moment is an input for
Yeah.
the mind. The problem is, I think, 18 hours for me, I'm working approximately, last maybe 10 years, but it's really very exciting to see that when you put investment of your life as an input to your mind, that little bit changed the mindset of like being just a creator. It just, the whole life becomes inspiration input. I know this is challenging for people, where's my social life, where's my, that's all there. But
Yes.
organizing that as a creator in a field, I don't know, that's sound or image or music or
True.
programming or coding or whatever, it's just there.
Yeah.
And I truly enjoy this feedback from my mentor back in time. Just we need to remember the giants that we are on their shoulders, who is our
Yeah.
mentors and teachers. And if you establish that context, there's a lot of opportunity in every single category of creativity.
That's so true. Well, I really enjoyed this conversation with you both. There's more that we can say about this topic. There's a lot. It's an ongoing topic, but unfortunately, we ran out of time. So thank you for being here.
Thank you
and
very
Thank you
much.
all for
Thank you.
listening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning.
It's a good morning.
Saudi coffee.
So-
It's amazing.